this is like, no, you just made it. Yeah!
I have a terrible feeling.
Kevin!
Famous child actors tend to follow one of two paths: grow up to become a Hollywood A-lister, or disappear altogether and never grace the big screen again. Either way, one thing is for sure: famous child actors are famous for a reason, namely for embodying the characters they play and putting in performances that rival some of the best adult actors. Today, we bring you some of the most famous child actors and their acclaimed performances, so keep watching and give us a thumbs up if you like the video. Number 10. Roman Griffin Davis as Best Childhood Performance in Jojo Rabbit 2009.
Today you boys will be involved in such activities as war games, ambush techniques, and blowing stuff up.
Jojo Rabbit stars 12-year-old Roman Griffin Davis as Jojo Betzler, an Oscar-winning war drama touched with humor. Jojo is a member of the Hitler Youth who stumbles upon a Jewish girl hiding in his own house. Conflicted between breaking the law or rattling on his family, Jojo forms a friendship with the girl to uncover her Jewish secrets. Oh, and his imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler. Taika Waititi directs this careful black comedy that never exploits the horrors of the Holocaust. Much of that is thanks to Jojo, whose innocence makes us forgive his Nazi uniform and sheds light on how so many kids were brainwashed into submission. Jojo Rabbit is bold, beautifully shot, and features an equally brilliant performance from Scarlett Johansson. Number 9. Jacob Tremblay as Best Childhood Performance in Room 2015.
For 5 years, you made life in that small room, that prison, as nurturing and normal as you could.
Jacob Tremblay has already gone on and made a handful of successful films, and he's still just a teenager. But Tremblay first wowed critics for his depiction of Jack, a 5-year-old boy who was kidnapped with his mother and held captive for years. Lenny Abrahamson's hard-hitting drama draws power from a very simple premise. Most of the movie takes place in one location, the room, in which Jack and his mother are trapped. This tragic story stars Brie Larson as Joy, who tries to stay optimistic about their squalid conditions for the sake of her son. Jack is made to believe that room is the entire world. Tremblay's emotionally poignant acting is remarkable for a then 7-year-old, especially given its raw and nightmarish plot. Number 8. Macaulay Culkin as Best Childhood Performance in Home Alone 1990.
Did we miss the flight? No, you just made it. Yeah!
I have a terrible feeling.
Kevin!
Macaulay Culkin was probably the cutest kid in the world, making the entire world utter "ah" every Christmas. The festive classic Home Alone stars Culkin as 8-year-old Kevin McAllister, who's accidentally left at home while his family spends Christmas in France. When two bumbling burglars attempt to break in while his family's away, it's up to Kevin to hold the fort. Chris Columbus's family-friendly favorite appears at the top of pretty much every Best Christmas Movies list you can find. An original and entertaining premise and heartwarming scenes made it an instant classic. But what really carried the franchise to fame was Culkin's acting. Kevin is sweet, sassy, and intelligent. He booby-traps the idiot thieves out of his house and himself into our hearts. Number 7. Christian Bale as Best Childhood Performance in Empire of the Sun 1987.
A desperate time. A world at war. A boy alone.
Before he was Patrick Bateman, Bruce Wayne, or Dick Cheney, Christian Bale impressed audiences as Jamie Graham, a British boy separated from his family during World War II. The Academy Award-winning Empire of the Sun is a coming-of-age tale of epic proportions, directed by Steven Spielberg. Having lived a privileged life in Shanghai, schoolboy Jamie is lost in the chaos of the evacuation. His house abandoned, Jamie is taken in by 2 American hustlers, but eventually ends up in a camp in Suzhou. Though the film is a bit theatrical at times, Bale's performance remains strong throughout, securing his place as an established talented actor at just 13 years old. Number 6. Daphne Keane as Best Childhood Performance in Logan 2017.
What is she?
Beneath the stain
She's like you.
of time.
Very much like you.
Logan is one of the few comic book movies that achieve the same level of grit and authenticity as critically acclaimed dramas. Although Logan is a part of the Wolverine franchise that stars Hugh Jackman, Daphne Keane is the real star here. Hugh Jackman's anti-hero comes out of retirement to escort young Laura to refuge. Set in dystopian Texas, Laura is one of the few mutants still remaining in 2029. Laura's powers are derived from Wolverine's DNA, sharing his quick temper and knack for violence. But despite her anger issues, Laura has a kind heart, which Wolverine teaches her to tap into and not let herself become the weapon she was designed to be. Brutal and unafraid to kill off beloved characters, Logan offers the sort of closure most MCU films are unwilling to give, as they remain forever open to another blockbuster sequel. Number 5. Brooklyn Prince as Best Childhood Performance in The Florida Project 2017.
Okay, I warned you, one drip and you're out.
Oh, come on!
Out now.
It's gonna melt outside.
It's melting inside too.
But Bobby...
Out.
Sean Baker's A24 indie flick is not only aesthetically pleasing, but boasts a wonderful performance by 6-year-old Brooklyn Prince. Feisty Mooney lives in a motel room with her young struggling mother, played by Bria Vinate. As the story is told through the rose-tinted eyes of a child, Mooney sees the brightly painted motel as the magic castle. The joy of childhood shines through the harsh reality of poor urban America in the Florida Project. Prince bubbles with the spirit of unspoiled innocence while also breaking our hearts multiple times. Number 4. Asa Butterfield and Jack Scanlon as Best Childhood Performance in The Boy in the Striped Pajamas 2008.
We're not supposed to be friends, you and me. We're meant to be enemies. Dad's a good man. Of course he is.
War movies are notorious for making us weep, but when a war movie takes it one step further by centering the story on 2 kids in leading roles, you can imagine the waterworks that ensue. Asa Butterfield and Jack Scanlon play 2 boys on opposite sides of the fence during World War II. One, a Jewish prisoner, the other the privileged son of a Nazi commander. Their virtue and unawareness of the horrifying world around them are so touching as they are tragic, shocking viewers to tears with an incredible ending. Butterfield went on to dazzle us with more performances as a child, most notably Martin Scorsese's Hugo 2011. Scanlon, on the other hand, left acting to study music. Nonetheless, the two gifted us with a moving friendship in this excellent film. Number 3, Natalie Portman as Best Childhood Performance in The Professional 1994.
What exactly do you do for a living?
Cleaner.
You mean you're a hitman? Cool.
Natalie Portman was impressing critics long before her Oscar-winning performance in Black Swan. At just 11 years old, Portman put on an incredible showing as Matilda Lando in Luc Besson's action thriller The Professional. When her entire dysfunctional family is murdered, Matilda seeks shelter with her neighbor, Leon, who happens to be a hitman. From there, she learns his trade and becomes his protege. Matilda is fiercely independent and full of angst, embodying a persona that went on to become a cultural icon of sorts with her bob haircut, black choker, and gun. She's immediately identifiable, with Portman striking a keen balance between childhood innocence and rebellious adulthood. Number 2, Leonardo DiCaprio as Best Childhood Performance in What's Eating Gilbert Grape 1993.
I killed him, Gilbert.
I know, buddy.
Okay, son, come down now. Hey!
Some days you don't.
When is this gonna stop?
Lasse Hallström's What's Eating Gilbert Grape wasn't Leonardo DiCaprio's first film, nor was it his last, as he clearly went on to become one of the finest actors of the modern age. DiCaprio wasn't technically a child at the time of this movie, but to put in a performance of this caliber at the age of 19, that's pretty impressive. And for that, we're happy to put him on this list. DiCaprio starred alongside Johnny Depp as his mentally handicapped younger brother Arnie. In preparation for the role, DiCaprio spent a few days in a mental hospital for teens, and you can tell from the impeccable precision of Arnie's mannerisms and speech. Number 1, Haley Joel Osment as Best Childhood Performance in The Sixth Sense 1999.
I see dead people walking around like regular people.
I don't see anything. Are you sure they're there?
You've probably seen this cute little face before, as Haley Joel Osment also appeared doe-eyed in Forrest Gump and AI Artificial Intelligence. He has since resurfaced in smaller roles, but is chiefly remembered for his part in M. Night Shyamalan's The Sixth Sense. Bruce Willis leads the thriller as a child psychologist treating 9-year-old Cole, who claims to communicate with dead people. Cole is frightened at first, but learns to use his powers for good. The Sixth Sense is haunting, shocking, and completely in Osment's hands, who ferries the film with earnest. "I see dead people" is now one of the most quoted movie lines of all time, thanks to Osment's dynamic performance. What are your favorite movie performances from child actors? Leave your answers in the comments below. That's it for today. I hope you liked the video. If you disagree with our list, please give us your opinion in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe to Series Pulse for more top 10 videos.